I accept Russ's first criticism that these international data sets don't do a good job of measuring family background and make it difficult to definitively say that differences across countries don't reflect differences in the challenges of what people are bringing into school. These are cross-sectional data sets as well. They're measuring the yield of the educational system of the nation broadly conceived, what happens in the home and in schools. I can certainly see how that would affect our productivity conclusions about the performance of, efficiency of spending in the education sector. I see it less relevant to just the use of the information about where we might be in terms of achievement and how much potential for improvement there could be. I would also note that I think if, while we definitely have higher levels of disadvantage among some of our students facing unique backgrounds, say relative to Canada, the example Russ used, I think it's also fair to say that we have some extraordinarily advantaged students due to the overall wealth in society and inequalities in society. Yet you don't see us you don't see the shape of the achievement distribution in the U.S. differing from other countries. So that again leads me to think that it's not the entire story. In terms of whether it actually makes sense to use some of this international evidence to draw policy conclusions, whether I should have scrapped the last part of my paper, obviously I'm not going to do that, so I have to come up with a defense. And I do think that there are these two values to the international, knowing where we stand and trying to learn. But I think we should be careful about what we learn about. We should use international evidence only when it adds to the body of evidence that we can use to draw conclusions in responsible ways. International evidence is particularly useful when there's no variation in how something is done in the United States, where therefore Mississippi does the same thing as Massachusetts and therefore can't learn from it. It's also useful to study the long-term general equilibrium consequences of policies that may only play out over time. So Russ has played an incredibly important role in the American education research community in advancing the cause of randomized field trials, which are really the definitive way to answer a what works question in education policy. But for an issue like teacher performance pay, the randomized field trial can tell us, do teachers, when they're offered a performance incentive, increase their performance that 1 year? It's very difficult for a randomized field trial to tell us who would be attracted into teaching after 20 years or more of performance-based policies being in place. And that's the type of question, similarly in this area of school choice, where international evidence can be useful. And I don't think we should shy away altogether from trying to head down that path.